thank you all so very much for being here. We have a great lineup today. I'm excited to introduce my guests today who are my co-hosts. You all should be very excited as to whom I've had an opportunity to bring right here to you on this day to celebrate you all as teens. So give yourselves a round of applause. Let's get right into the show. Ladies and gentlemen, I have the distinct honor of bringing to the stage my first guest, which is Miss Diamond White. Diamond first hit the national scene as a 13-year-old stunning Simon Cowell and Britney Spears as a finalist on Fox, The X Factor. Today, at 18 years old, she's a triple threat musician, actor, and social influencer. She also voices memorable characters in some of today's most viewed animated shows, including The Transformers, Rescue Bots, and Disney The Lion Guard, based on the beloved classic and my favorite movie, The Lion King. Diamond also stars in Tyler Perry's film, Boo, A Medea's Halloween. Diamond, why don't you introduce yourself to the listening audience as far as what you've been up to?
You did such a great job. Hi, how are you?
I'm good,
How's
thank
life? Hey guys, I'm Diamond. Nice to meet you. I don't know what else to say. You said that's me on the paper.
Well, I want to know, personally, how long have you been acting?
Acting actually wasn't my first thing that I wanted to do. I am a singer before anything else. Singing. The one thing that isn't down there is X Factor. I did X Factor 2012, made it to top 5. That's how most people, oh, there's something happening.
Yeah, what's happening?
Oh, it sounds like X Factor. Is it?
Oh, yeah. So tell us about the X Factor. How did you get involved with the X Factor?
Well, everyone kind of goes out on an audition, and it's like a cattle call thing where they, so distracted. That's me. That's yep, X Factor.
So,
but, yeah.
So as far as the young people in the audience, Diamond, if I wanted to audition for X Factor, what is it that I must do? Because I can't sing, so what can I do to go on X Factor?
X Factor is a singing show,
okay,
so
that eliminates me
You kind of got to
completely.
sing. You can go on America's Got Talent. That's like everything.
Okay.
But you kind of just go out to a big casting call. I waited in line for hours upon hours. I didn't think that I was going to make it as far as I did because there were so many people, and you could hear everyone auditioning in the booth that you were in. And you know,
what song did you sing?
I sang a Beyonce song for the first few rounds.
Yeah.
And then I auditioned with It's a Man's World.
Can you do a hook of the Beyonce song?
Oh, no, honey.
No?
Honey, why?
Okay. Let's give Diamond a round of applause. I think I'm gonna convince Diamond to sing a Beyonce song before this show is over.
Lord.
But ladies and gentlemen, my other two guests are, well, let me just introduce the first. Let me introduce Mr. EJ, who is a triple threat entertainer. At an early age, Elijah was invited to perform for the Jackson 5 mini concert around the country. Being that Michael Jackson was his biggest inspiration to perform, then, at 9 years old, he was cast to star in the Disney's Broadway musical, The Lion King, as young Simba. Elijah starred in the Las Vegas production for 1 year, national toured, as well as on New York City's Broadway production. Elijah is still the only child actor to play young Simba in all 3 productions. At 13 years old, Elijah was chosen out of thousands of kids who auditioned across the country to be one of 5 lead singers in the national TV commercial singing group Kids Bop. He also most recently starred as the lead character in this summer in a feature called Misguided Behavior that is set to be released this coming fall. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give a round of applause to Mr. Elijah, aka EJ.
Hey guys.
How are you?
I'm doing all right. How you guys doing? Everybody good out there? You good? Yeah? All right, cool, for sure.
Good deal. Now, Elijah,
Yeah.
how long have you been acting?
I've been acting, well, if you ask my dad, I've been acting since I was 4 years old. I would recite commercials where after they would happen, I would run to him and just say them really, really fast. But, you know, that's kind of how I got my start. But, I mean, acting for like, what, almost 9, 10 years now? I think it's been a minute. Yeah.
You have to ask your dad how long you've been acting?
It's been a long time. You know, I started when I was like 8 or 7 years old. It kind of just something I kind of fell into. You know,
Right.
just being.
Is this your passion?
Yes, most definitely. Yeah,
Yeah.
you know, acting, singing, you know, dancing, that all just being an entertainer, kind of.
I can see you and Diamond doing a duet, like Beyonce and Luther Vandross did that duet.
We've known each other for a long time.
very long
And
time.
we know the same, we're in the same friend group.
Yeah,
so
okay.
we have collaborated on so many things. We write all the time together.
Yeah, so it's definitely coming
it's
if it's
happening.
just, you know.
Now, I understand the two of you. You played Simba and you played Nala
Yes, sir.
in my favorite movie. Can you all help a brother get into that movie?
Well, you know what?
Well, I wish I could get myself
Right.
into that movie. They're coming out with a live action one in Childish Gambino.
Gambino is playing Simba,
that right?
so that's gonna be crazy.
That's pretty
yeah,
cool.
It's gonna be cool.
Well, I tell you what. Let's get this show on the road as we introduce our next guest, which is Mr. Princeton Perez. So let's bring him out as I introduce him. At the age of 5, Princeton started dancing and auditioning and was offered a scholarship to Debbie Allen's Dance Academy, where he was a star protege. By age 10, he had landed the role of Dancing Cupid in the music video Gym Class Heroes, the hit single Cupid's Chokehold. In 2009, after garnishing a reputable amount of attention, the talent scout manager, Keisha Gamble, discovered him and offered him the opportunity to join the young boy band named Mindless Behavior and has performed under the stage name Princeton. He also starred in the upcoming movie Misguided Behavior. Please welcome our guests, Diamond, Elijah, and Princeton, ladies and gentlemen. I am very, very excited to be here today, to have the three of you here to co-host the Teen Town Hall as we talk about some very important topics of discussion. But before we get started, I want to know who we have in the house. Do we have Rancho High School in the house? Come on, I need some more energy now. What about Legacy? Legacy? They're on their way? Canyon Springs? West Prep? Valley High School? Let's do that again. Valley High School? Western High School? Well, let's do that again. Western High School. And Advanced Technology Academy. Come on now. How about Western and Western? Valley? Good deal, good deal. Ladies and gentlemen, as we roll to our first topic of discussion, I would like to introduce this clip that was actually filmed at Charles I. West Middle School last summer, that will be coming out this summer. And for our first topic, I would like to start by showing a clip of Misguided Behavior, a horror story affecting kids every day in schools across the country. And of course, Elijah, AKA EJ, who plays Kevin, who was the poster child of bullying. And so let's go to the clip and let's watch this clip as we prepare for our first topic of discussion.
We both agree. Let's enroll him in the public school in hopes that he might become more social.
So, having your face mashed in is being more social?
Callie Winbrook, the prettiest girl in our whole school, invited me to her mom's 10th festival. Lance showed up.
What does he want with you?
For me to stay away from her.
Did you see the shooter? Are you a student?
Yes. Yes, I'm a student. I was right by the shooter when he pulled the gun.
Is he a student?
Yeah.
Let's enter the mind of the victim. He's the quiet one. Look, you probably missed him. Keep to himself. He humble, driven, and so focused. But the fear got him feeling things that's so hopeless. Getting harassed and embarrassed. Now he feeling low. Trouble everywhere he turned. Don't know where to go. Bullies hitting him, throwing bottles of trash at him. Can't confide in nobody because they all laugh at him. Haven't spoke to his parents, said they won't understand this.
The third time this week I caught you stirring up trouble with the students.
It's a gun.
Someone brought a gun to the school this morning.
So basically, you gotta stay away from me.
Why would I do that?
Police are calling this an active shooter situation as authorities search for a suspect. We'll continue to follow this story and bring you more information as it becomes available.
We're out here risking our lives every day, and then you gotta go home and act like nothing happened.
I guess heroes don't exist in real life.
And you better pray to God that we find your gun.
I got a 5-minute ETA. We got medical units on the way. Come on, pick up.
You messed up today.
You did what any good cop would do. You saved a life. You saved a kid's life.
Someone's got to do something about this, Kev.
Open the door. 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 The door.
Jesus. Good job, EJ.
Good job, EJ. Very good job. Now, Elijah, let me ask you this question.
Yes, sir.
The inspiration of this film, Misguided Behavior, of course, the scene is about bullying. And a lot of the students here heard from one of the community's presidents who runs 702 Bully Buster 702, Mr. Keith Bowen here earlier. And this is a topic that is not only taking place in the schools, but it's taking place in corporate America as well. But being that we have the students here today, and I'm pretty sure a lot of students have faced bullying, what was some of the traits in which you had to really get into in your role to depict the nuances that bullying takes on a life of its own?
You know, bullying takes on a lot of forms. And so, like, growing up just being, you know, wanting to do music where I grew up, it was kind of a different thing. You know, a lot of times bullying stems from a lack of understanding of people who are different. And so it wasn't really that hard to tap into it just from, you know, just feeling like you're different and doing different things. You know, and growing up and just actually being in school and actually being bullied a little bit, you know, it just taps into a place of feeling misunderstood. And, you know, that's kind of, you know, Misguided. It's a film that not only accompanies bullying, but it also accompanies the family dynamic of really not only just being bullied, but also having your parents not really understand you. And that can be a form of, you know, just not feeling, you know, misunderstood. And that was one thing that really Kevin, my character that I play, he really feels misunderstood because he's just trying to live his life and trying to be, you know, the best version of himself he can be. But, you know, he has his father who kind of is trying to pressure him to being something he's not. And then he's also, you know, going to school and getting bullied for, you know, being the way he is. Is just something that, you know, the inspiration for it I can take from different people and different stories I've heard. But honestly, with just the story compelled me once I read the script. Right. That it was something that I really think was something that needed to be told because, you know, that's a problem. It's a human problem, and it's been around for a very long time. And, you know, not only that, just I haven't really seen in a lot of media a lot of stories told from a black perspective also of being bullied. You know, that's something in media I haven't seen, you know, in a minute.
And so, Princeton, share with us as far as your role, and was there anything personal in relation to what you have experienced in your life as far as whether it be in your career or going through school or your upbringing that basically tied in to you or touched you during your role playing in Misguided Behavior?
Well, I never, in terms of bullying, I joined mindless behavior when I was 9 years old. So I went straight to being homeschooled. So I never really got bullied in school. Me and the boys were homeschooled. But I think all of us can relate to like internet trolls. You know, everyone thinks you're safe behind a computer, an iPhone. You know, I'll post a picture, anything, and you get those naysayers. And thank God for the block button. Thank you, Lord. But it's still like internet, physical abuse, mental abuse. It all can ruin a person's soul. So I definitely tapped into that because my character is kind of the fun one.
Right.
I'm crazy. I'm like his best friend.
Right.
So I didn't really have to dig so deep into my emotions in that way, but in terms of bullying, yeah. I mean, I feel like everybody gets bullied in some way.
And you mentioned digging deep into your emotion, and you know, they say men are from Mars and girls are from Venus, if I said that right.
I have never heard
right?
that in my life.
and so, you know, from that emotional standpoint, Diamond, I know that you, growing up, having a lot of girlfriends and friends, whether it be social media or just from the neighborhood in which you've grown up, have you encountered bullying, or if not, your friends, specifically with this whole social media craze, which I'm still trying to get my arms around as a parent as well, in relation to the conversations that's being had, and of course, you know, this new term called sexting, you know, which is, you know, it's crazy, but these are conversations that are really pushing people over the edge, and each and every day we see and hear about people that do things to harm themselves or others based on, you know, social media platforms and what's taking place in their lives inside the classroom. And so I just wanted to just get your take in relation to, you know, as Princeton mentioned, that social, emotional connection of bullying.
Well, I was also homeschooled from a really young age, so I relate to Princeton in that way. I didn't really go to school and had a lot of like face-to-face bullying. Also, I am really awkward, and a lot of my friends understand that. Like, our friend group is really understanding of each other. So most of my like bullying has come from the internet, because there's always a troll, there's always someone. There are people who just make accounts for fun, just to be like, oh, ha ha ha, I'm funny. No, you're not. But yeah, it's mostly just been on the internet, and it's kind of like a thing where it's like, I don't know who you are, I can't see you, you're hiding behind someone else, like a screen. It doesn't, it used to affect me a lot when I was younger, because I was like, why me? Like, why? Just why? Yeah. And now it's kind of like, I can't do anything about it. I don't know where it's stemming from, but it's like, that's a you problem, not a me problem.
But does it take a certain level of maturity?
Yes. Yeah, to ignore it and not show any attention to it, yeah, you have to kind of get outside of yourself and kind of like think, like, that has nothing to do with me. It's not something that I'm doing to make you bully me. It's something that's you're dealing with, whoever the person is. So it shouldn't be something that you question and change yourself based on like what people are telling you or like bullying you about, because it's like, you know, you do you. Whatever makes you happy, that's what you do. If you want to post a photo of something, post a photo of something. If you want to say something, you have your right to have an opinion. And that's like the other side of it. It's like bullying. I remember like reaching out to someone that bullied me, like asking like why, and it's like, well, everyone is entitled to have an opinion. But it's like, if it's not nice, why are you saying that? Like, why are you, you know? But I don't know. Everyone's a little weird. I'm not sure why bullies do what they do, but.
Well, you say that you don't know why bullies do what they do.
Yeah.
But I saw a movie called Boo, and I believe we have a package for it. And it's interesting that Diamond says that she wasn't bullied. Now, how many of you all know Madea? And we all know that it's tough to bully Madea, right? So if we can go to that package, because she bullied Madea in the movie Boo. So can we bring up that package?
We're having a Halloween party tonight, so why don't you come on by?
Tiffany, what's going on? Chill out, Pops. It's cool.
A lot of the jokes that he's come up with on the spot, the funniest ones are just like him being Madea, being himself, you know?
Mr. Wilson died in this house on Halloween. He killed his entire family. And what the hell is this?
After 10, strange things start happening. It's just a blessing being able to watch him do what he does. It's amazing. And I'm so glad that I'm a part of this, and I can't wait for everyone to see it.
Oh my goodness.
Little
right.
bully.
She said, oh my goodness, right?
I haven't seen that. No, but in the movie, I'm just a really bratty kid, and the whole plot of it is I want to go to a party, and Madea is supposed to be watching me because my dad goes out of town, and I want her to like leave me alone and let me go to the party. So I end up scaring her really bad, and it doesn't work. She ends up finding me, and
well, we all know that Madea wins in the end, right?
Yeah.
Well, I actually want to hear from you all. I mean, as it relates to bullying, you know, what are some things that you all have faced, and also not only faced, but what are some suggestions that you will give to others that have faced bullying? And so if you all have any questions, please come forward to each one of these microphones here. But in the meantime, I welcome all of the schools again and remind you that it is okay to tweet. And so therefore, the hashtag is hashtag Vegas Teens Talk. That's plural. Hashtag Vegas Teens Talk. So feel free to tweet during this segment. And so as we look forward to, I see someone preparing to get up. Come on up if you have a question for us as it relates to bullying. I'm interested to actually hear from someone as it relates to bullying, because this is something that when I was growing up, a number of people, I can say, were bullied, but not to the extent that it is taking place in the schools today. And I find it very interesting as far as the dynamics of bullying and the role in the life that it's taking on its own to the abrupt cause of one's death, whether someone's being killed or someone's killing themselves by way of suicide. And I think that this is a topic that needs to be really fleshed out as to finding out ways in which we can assist those who are being bullied or who know of one that is being bullied. Yes, ma'am. Please state your name and also the school in which you attend.
Hi, my name is Jocelyn Garduno. I'm 11th grade at Western High School.
Western Warriors.
I actually have two things to say, because I actually did a project on bullying at school for a presentation, and I actually took a survey at my school and posted it on Facebook for people to send their responses. And I believe, don't quote me on it, but I got 395 responses, and 80.8% say that they have been bullied.
Wow, that's awesome.
And you said to state if you ever been bullied, right?
Yes.
Personally, I have. And
so walk us through that. I'm not asking for any names, but I'm just curious as to know, at what age you were and what was the impetus of the actual bullying, if you will.
Actually, I was bullied through all, elementary, middle, high school.
Okay. Was it because of something you were wearing? Was it something that you said? Or was it no fault of your own?
It's mainly how I act and how I look. Because if you ask all my friends, I'm the child at heart. And then,
Me too.
I'm going to give you an incident. High school, my sophomore year, I was in the PE locker room. We were changing and all that stuff, and I was smiling because my friends just made a joke and it was funny. And I was smiling, and out of nowhere, this girl's like, "You should stop smiling. You look like a shark." And I'm just like, "Whoa."
Where's she at?
She's one of the slackers, so she's not here.
You know what? I kind of just feel like people that bully, it's not a reflection on how you are. It's really a reflection how they are, because they're just unhappy with their own selves, so they have to take it out on other people. And I wouldn't say I'm a bully, but even with my little cousins, I come from a very big Hispanic family. I'm the oldest of yeah. Okay now. So yeah, I'm the oldest of 30 cousins. I'm sure you guys can relate. So when I'm not feeling like myself, or I'm feeling down, I'll go to my tias and my tios, or go to my little cousins and pick on them, because it's kind of just taking the energy away. But if you're really harboring in some emotions, then you go to school every day, and these are the people you see 7 hours, 8 hours a day. You are gonna take it out. So don't even take that in. You fly. Look at that dress. You looking good, right? Come on, y'all.
Thank you.
Thank you so very much. And I see we have another question here to my right.
Hi, my name is Aaron Miller, and I'm a junior from Legacy High School. And I was actually in...
I know him.
That's my squad.
I know him.
I was actually in the Misguided Behavior movie.
Yeah, I remember.
What's that? And I want to know, because as a kid and going from elementary to middle school, the only folks that I could kick it with were the bullies that were bullying me, because no one else would try to associate themselves with me. And at the time, I didn't understand, hey, Aaron, you're getting bullied. But for all the kids that are in that same situation, what's your advice to them?
Definitely, being a kid, you're trying to find your way in this world. And so, you're trying to really just find your place and try to fit in. And so, that's a tricky situation. But what I can say is definitely always be yourself and stay true to yourself. That's one thing that I've always tried to do, whether it be in my career or just being, a person, finding your way. Everyone finds they have a different path of, finding your friend group and finding who you belong to. But, just stay true to yourself and, always treat people how the way you want to be treated. That's one thing I can always say, being a kid, you make mistakes sometimes and you stumble along the way, but, if you stay true to yourself, you'll find your path.
And as long as you're not the one that's, like, if you want to hang out with them, that's cool. But as long as you're not the one that's engaging in what they're doing, then, you really don't have anything to worry about, because if you generally think they're good people, then you may see it, and that's good for you, but just don't engage in what they're doing. I've been in so many crowds and so many petty moments where I was the oddball out, and that kind of made me special. So, look at what I'm wearing, y'all.
It looks good, by the way. Don't you all think it looks great?
I'm about to say,
I think it's
where did you
good.
get that from?
Thank you, Mr. Miller. Thank you.
Right,
now, what I'm hearing from Mr. Miller, and Diamond, I'll let you touch on this, is acceptance. It sounds like Mr. Miller was looking to be accepted in a crowd. How important is that to be accepted as it relates to whether it be bullying or just feeling a part of something? Can you speak to that?
Well, I think it is important to find people that you vibe with and that kind of fit your aesthetic almost.
Yeah.
Once you find people that, okay, for instance, Los Angeles is very similar to high school. Like, there are the different cliques and the different people that are cool and the different, there's just different vibes out in LA, and that's where we all live. Yeah. And it's kind of like going to lunch and seeing all the tables, and it's like, which one do I choose? Like, which one do I fit in at? And for me, because I'm such a weird human being and I am awkward and a lot of people don't get my humor and I'm just weird, it's important to find people that you feel like are your home and you feel comfortable with, because I feel like if you don't have that, you kind of just go from group to group and you find out I don't really vibe with these people, and it kind of makes you feel bad because it's like, why don't I relate to these people? But as soon as you find the people that just make you warm and you just like them and they're fun to hang out with and they get your humor, it all clicks. That's when, for me, I was like, wait, I don't need anyone else to make me feel cool. Just because I didn't have my people for a long time doesn't mean that they're not out there. And once I found the people that I vibed with, I was like, okay, I have a squad now. I have a crew. You feel like a unit.
It
together,
becomes
and
the
it's good.
fit.
Yeah.
It becomes the fit.
And what's awkward is I'm 21 years old now, and I'm just now doing that because.
Yeah, it takes time.
Well, when I say I'm just now doing it is because when I was in mindless behavior from 9 years old to 20, I didn't have no friends. It was me and the boys and our backup dancers.
Right.
Or our band. So we didn't know nobody. We would go from the stage to the hotel, nothing. So then when the group kind of ended, I'm just now having to go to, red carpet premieres and not have those dudes there. I'm like, I have no one to call and I ain't gonna take my mama. Like, what? So I'm just now starting to get into that. So it doesn't matter how old you are, but Diamond kind of hit a nail on it. LA or even the music business is a lot like high school.
And I think sometimes it is okay to be a loner. There are times when I'm I don't really want to be around anyone. I just want to lock myself in
Look,
my
I have
room.
3 kids and I want to lock myself in my room every time I get home. So I understand what it's like to want to be alone sometimes. And so I get that. Yeah. But just really tapping back into just that me time, right? Mm-hmm. And we adults know what that's all about as far as that me time. And I do love my kids, but I do like to lock myself in my room as well. But we do have another question here. Yes, sir. Your name and your question.
My name is Gary Reese. I go to Peterson Academic. My mentor back there, Miss Christina, she asked me to come up here and speak about my situation.
Okay.
I've been bullied recently, just a few months ago, and I was jumped, and every day, these kids, they were harassing me, telling me murder mob, we're gonna kill you. I have wrote multiple statements. I was going to Cimarron Memorial High School. I wrote multiple statements, and I didn't get any help. So I took matters into my own hand. I brought a gun to school. Now, I didn't really have any intentions to use it, but if I had to, I would have, just to protect myself. And so I got caught with the gun and I got locked up. And like.
Wait, so let me stop. You said you got caught with a gun.
Yes.
And you were locked up.
Yeah, juvenile.
In juvenile. Now this is a real conversation here, ladies and gentlemen, and this is exactly what we're talking about, because we have a gentleman here that was bullied and he felt the need to protect himself with a weapon, and ultimately the individual that was bullying you, what happened to that individual?
Nothing.
Absolutely nothing. But the individual that was looking to protect himself was the one that got caught up, arrested, and placed in juvenile detention. Correct. Now continue.
Yeah, so I just wanted to like what do you guys think like you should do if you don't get help from your school, from these trusted adults that they tell you to speak to? Like, what do you guys suggest?
You know, situations like that a lot of times do happen, and I do feel like you know, it falls upon the adults to really try to really understand that, you know, when people say they're getting bullied, it's not just, oh, you know, that just happens. It's been around for such a long time that people try to get used to it and try to normalize it, I think, nowadays, which is something that it shouldn't be normal, you know, treating someone badly or making them feel bad to a point where they want to bring, you know, a gun to school to try to protect themselves shouldn't be a normal thing, you know, and I think that really falls upon the faculty of, you know, different schools and different organizations, and also the parents listening to their children more and trying to be more involved if that's happening to them. I think that's something that calls upon them, because we can only do so much. We're trying to figure out, like I said, we're kids, you know, trying to figure out how to navigate in this world and not trying to navigate through high school. I think it's something that, you know, it's a problem kind of bigger than us. It's been around longer than us. And I think it's something that needs something more attention paid to. So situations like that won't happen, because they will continue to if nobody does anything about it.
And everybody should be an open ear. If somebody's coming to you about the slightest problem, it doesn't take that much to just be an open ear and listen for 10 minutes, 20 minutes, because you actually could be saving that person's life if their mind is going somewhere else. Just, you know, be an open ear and have a little more heart to everybody, even if you don't know them. So yeah.
I think what's vitally important is that we learn, and hopefully you've learned from your mistake, because that's very serious, right? For you to be a teen and to strap yourself with a weapon, something very much more devastating could have transpired than you being taken to juvenile detention. There are resources here to help you in that. I'm not sure who you reached out to, but I know within the Clark County School District, from your principal on down to the janitor, we have here in the audience today Mr. Kevin Childs, who represents the Clark County Board of Trustees for the school district as well. There's a lot of services. Myself, if there's anyone that find themselves in a precarious situation, please do not pick up a weapon and take matters into your own hand. Please come and speak to an adult and let them know that you are very serious. But also, I would say, take it to the extreme of saying, I'm prepared to pick up this weapon. That's how serious this is to me, right? To get our attention, because I don't want you to be harmed, nor you to harm someone else as it relates to killing someone or being killed behind bullying. And that's how important this matter and this topic is today. And so I'm glad that everything worked out. I pray that everything is continuing to be worked out on your behalf. But please learn from that mistake that this is not something that, of course, you should ever do, or anyone else for that matter should do, is take matters to that extravagant into your own hands. But thank you so very much for bringing that forward, for sure. Hi, how are you?
Good. My name is Hattie Thorns, and I go to Legacy High School. I had a recent encounter with bullying because, like, I'm at this point now where, you know, I'm still trying to, you know, discover who I am. And so, like, you know, I stopped wearing, like, all the, like, the name brand stuff and, like, the extensions and things in my hair. I'm trying to, you know, learn how to love myself. And so, like, like, I changed like my profile picture to like a picture of me in like an afro or whatever, and then like I don't have that picture up anymore. But one of my friends, they had added me to like this Facebook group chat. And like it was a lot of people that I didn't know in there, but like there was like 2 or 3 people that I did know that did go to my school, and like they expected me to say and do certain things simply because it was a co-ed group chat. And so I was just like, so when like I refused to do it, like they like screenshotted one of my pictures, and then like which was my picture with the afro, and like, you know, like I'm not 100% like full on, like I mean I love myself, but you know this is something new for me, so you know I'm still like a little bit insecure about it. So like for all of them to like try and like basically get on my head about it, like about like the way I looked in the picture, I was just like, I don't know, it kind of made me feel some type of way. It kind of made me wanted to step back and, you know, put the braids back in my hair, you know, put the extensions back in. But then I was just like, you know, like my friends support me. My friends tell me that, you know, I look beautiful like this. So I don't know, like, I wait.
I got you. We got you. You know, it reminds me of last Thursday. My friends, right, and I'm much older than you all. My friends posted on Throwback Thursday a picture of me in my Jerry curl that was down to about right here. Wow. But that wasn't the most impressive, right?
That's amazing.
My hair was just as long as Diamond's hair is when I was in high school. But that wasn't the embarrassing part. The embarrassing part was the big grease spot that was on the couch from the Jerry curl juice. And it made me feel some kind of way, right? It made me feel some kind of way, but you know, not to minimize what you're saying. I get it, because it's like it's certain pictures that you just want left buried, right? And when it comes to the way in which we look, it really comes down to vanity, right? We all want to present a certain way. We all want to look a certain way. And so for that, we want to, you know, when we're presented to the public, specifically people that we don't know, there's a specific image that you want presented, correct? And so for that, specifically for the 3 of you, when it comes to vanity, right? You know, we all wake up in the morning and we think about, even myself, what suit am I going to wear today? What is it for you, Diamond?
Well, I relate to you a lot in the way that I used to chemically straighten my hair a lot just because that's what the look was, and that's what, like, I wanted to look like everybody else, which is also why I have the braids now, because I want to grow out my natural hair.
They're beautiful, by the way.
Thank you. I want to grow out my natural hair. I want to have my curls. Like, I just want to, that's what I want to do now, because that's me. That's who I am. That's who I am when I was born. That's just, like, that's what I want to do. I want to stop, you know, trying to look like what the idolized idea of beauty is. And social media really, like, affects that a lot, because there's so many people on Tumblr. There's so many, like, I remember scrolling on Tumblr being like, oh, I want to be a Tumblr girl. Like, they're so pretty and their hair is so long. And it's like, all that stuff doesn't matter. Like, I find that I'm more comfortable and happiest when I'm in my most natural state. And there's something about just being like being dipped in melanin and having your curly hair and like your afro, like all of that gives me so much joy. Like, yeah, it's like I really want that to be something that's pushed more in media, because it's like that's and the idea of beauty is such a thing that it's like it's all based on opinion. So it's like you can't really like there's no set, oh, this is what beauty is. So it's like you can't really pay attention to what everyone else thinks. But I struggled with that for a while, and I still am. Like, I'm still growing. I'm only 18. I haven't like gotten into my like the self that I'm gonna be forever. And it changes and it evolves, and you never know who you're gonna be tomorrow. But like, love your melanin, girl. Like, I'm right in that boat with you. We freaking glow. Like, let that glow shine.
That's right.
First of all, you are doing everything right. Can we all agree? She's loving herself. She's showing it off. I love it. And I can relate to you in so many ways, because going back to the group I'm in, when we first came out, there was a member of my group, he had these long braids. Ray. And I had this big afro, and then Rock had this ponytail, and we would go in, and we would walk in a meeting or go to like thing and talk about, where is Mrs. Right? And they're like, who are these little boys that look like little girls? Like, people didn't get it. And on every blog, they're like, trying to be the next B2K. Oh, the Jackson 5 done recreated. They made fun of us so much because of what we look like that they, like a lot of performances, people wouldn't even want to hear us talk.
But how did that
perform.
affect you all? Very good point. How did that affect you all as far as on the stage and in, you know, in the media, as far as being who you are and still allowing that to come through?
It kind of affected us in two ways. When people would doubt us and kind of make fun of us, like I'm not going to say any artists, but like a lot of the older artists would make fun of us. It would make us want to hit the stage and be like, oh, okay, all right, we're going to show you why we're here.
I can show you better than I can tell you.
But then we will go back to our hotels and kind of be like, maybe we should not have big hair and long hair. Maybe we should do what every other dude is doing. But to this day, you guys saw for yourself, all I said was Too Long Braids, and you guys knew his name. So it left a legacy of boy bands for the rest. So you're doing everything right. I don't know where you went. I don't know where she went. You're doing everything right. I'm in the same boat with you. Black Lives Matter. Black is beautiful. Amen.
Elijah.
Look at this napkin.
I'm loving it. I'm loving it.
And it's a thing with, just being natural and being what's comfortable for you. You know, if it's where you like to just be bare, or if you like wearing makeup, if where it is finding yourself where it feels comfortable for you. I think that's what's the most important, and appreciating yourself and loving yourself. And that's a journey, it's not, especially when you're growing up and, there are criticisms you hear from different people and whatever affects your life. It is hard. It's a thing that you have to learn how to do. So really, like he said, you're doing everything perfect, just keep continuing to love yourself. And, if they hate on you, do something right. That's always something I say, and, real talk. So just be you. Just learn yourself, learn to love yourself and everything like that,
And let me just remind everyone that feel free to text your question also, because we are living in the age of social media. And so please text any question that you have to #VegasTeensTalk, #VegasTeensTalk. And also, I have a question that actually came in from Twitter, and this came in from Alan the Activist. And it says, can we touch on the violence young black men face in schools and outside of school as racial profiling? It doesn't necessarily be black, but it could be anyone that's racially profiled. So if that's something that either one of you all want to talk about, please feel free to, in fact, bring that topic forward as well when you come to the microphone. And then there's another text, or I should say a Twitter feed that came in from Alfonso Gonzalez, and he says, how do you think sex education plays in the role of sexting, and does the curriculum need to evolve within the school system? And so those are the first two questions that have come in, but we'll continue. And feel free if you all want to throw in additional conversation or question that you all may have to us as well. Yes, sir. Your name and the school you represent.
My name is Devin Avenanti, and the school I represent is Cheyenne High School. And I just wanted to go over about my past life, of which I have had a very rough life within my family, which have done, my stepbrothers have decided to do drugs at one point, which they successfully stopped, which I'm very happy about. And I wanted to go over...
That's right. Good deal.
And I wanted to go over about the fact that I was severely bullied when I was at the age of 5 to especially now, because when I was young, I had a best friend that I thought of as a brother. His name was Jacob Howard Sellers. And at the age of 12, he was ran over by a Fresh and Easy truck in my hometown in California. And when I was young, I was severely bullied, but I didn't care about it. I didn't think about it. I ignored it. But then one day I started getting severely bullied about him, which brought me to a severe breaking point, and I almost did commit suicide. Luckily, I had my parents, my friends, everyone to stand by me to help stop this bullying, which at other points in other schools it did not stop, which I don't really mind it now because I'm used to it. But that point when I was told that he was better than me, that I should have died instead of him, that brought me to a breaking point. I started to cut. I started to do bad things. I almost got to the point of doing drugs, and luckily I had my friends and family to help me get through it. So I quickly wanted to ask, have you guys ever had any experiences such as that?
Well, let me first and foremost congratulate you and thank God that you had those wraparound services called family. Because if it weren't for those resources that you had an opportunity to pull on, you may not be here today. And a lot of that took a lot of grit on your behalf to basically look within who you are and realize, in the words of Jesse Jackson, you are somebody, and you do mean something to all of us, because what you do to yourself affects not only you, but it affects many others, your family and friends alike. And so I just want to applaud you once more for taking the courage and standing up to talk about the issues that you face. Right? And so the question that he has, and either one of you can take this question, have you all faced a point in your life, a low in your life, to where you started to think outside of your normal thought process, as far as whether it be doing damage to yourself or doing damage to others or something?
I think, life for everyone is filled with ups and downs. And so I don't think I've really had anything that pushed me that far, but I have had times where it's been really hard to even, like self-esteem issues about if I'm a good enough artist, if I'm good enough to, continue to, live out my dreams. My parents, they sacrificed a lot for me to even be here today, to really become an artist. And really, my dad, when I toured with the Lion King, he left, he went with me and we toured around the country. My parents, my mom, my little brother, they stayed at home. So, it's a lot of things to, now, whether if I'm making it, if it's worth all of it, all the sacrifices they made, it definitely makes you in a different place and it gets you, thinking. And, one thing with people who have, given dreams to the place of self-harm, I always want to stress that it's never something where their mindset is weak or anything. People get pushed to certain limits, and, everyone gets experienced differently. So for someone to say that about someone else, not being or walking a day in their shoes is something. It's a lack of ignorance and lack of understanding of really someone's mindset. But it's a tough thing, and life is not all happy. There's ups and downs, and so it's a thing we all, I think, on a certain scale go through, and some people have it more severe than others. But like you said, I want to congratulate you for still being here and speaking your truth, because talking about the your situation, having a testimony of everything, that helps the conversation keep moving forward, which I think is really one of the best ways we can try to help solve a lot of things that happen with this. So I want to commend you for that, really.
And thank you so much for I don't even know you, but thank you for being so strong and speaking that for everyone who's come up here. But your energy is so beautiful, and you're such a beautiful person. Please stay strong. I've been in a place where I just wanted to lock myself in the bathroom, and I've struggled with depression, and I journal and I write all of my emotions down just so I can come back to it when I'm in a better place and see the progression, and that motivates me to keep doing well. But I have been in a place where it's just I don't know what to do, and a lot of it comes from just, it's self-doubt almost. I've struggled with just dealing with not knowing what to do, not knowing if I'm good enough for something, or just the question of what am I doing here? What's my purpose? Is singing my path? Everyone deals with their own kind of thing, but you're so strong. You have such beautiful energy. Please stay strong. You're, oh God.
So
yeah.
Tell your story.
Yeah.
I commend you on that. And luckily for you, you had your parents, your friends to talk to, and for everyone out there who probably is going through the same thing or may go through the same thing, if you don't have anybody in the world to talk to, you always have God. You can pray about it. It costs nothing to pray. So always pray about it and really have faith and just. But I commend you all the way for coming out here, man.
Thank you so very much. Yes, ma'am. Let's give him another round of applause. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, my name is Lil Donison. I'm from Cheyenne High School. Okay, so a while ago, there was a situation involving a male peer. He physically assaulted me. He has verbally assaulted me. It was really bad. It was to the point where I wanted to change schools. Keep in mind, I did report it multiple times, because even after reporting it, he still continued. So how he got off was in one day in school suspension. Didn't do anything. Keep in mind, this is a problem with everybody. The school system sucks. What is your opinion on this? Yeah. So I want to know what your opinion is on this, and if you ever are gonna try to do a campaign or anything to fix it.
For sure.
I think
Go ahead, Don.
this is going to be a bold opinion.
Okay, go ahead.
I think if adults are the people that are going to be the ones to say, talk to me, make sure your problems are known and make sure whatever you're going through is known, I think it's important if they're going to say that to actually take action and do something to fix it or help it. Right? And I think that's where the communication is kind of wonky. It's if you're gonna say something, then do what you say. If I'm coming to you for help, then help me. Don't don't brush it off, because that's not what are you telling me to talk to you for? I think that's where a lot of it needs to change. The adults and people who are in those places to do something about it need to actually do something about it.
So what I'm hearing is the line of communication is very significant. Specifically when in fact you all bring something to an adult, then that adult has the onus to making sure that they're able to connect the dots and provide you those necessary resources to assist you in that regard. Is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah.
Okay.
And
go ahead,
got,
Princeton.
A day?
Yeah.
To be honest, he should have gone expelled for touching a girl in general.
Yeah.
Do you guys agree with me?
Yes. Okay. Also keep in mind, I'm not trying to be racist. I'm just gonna say this is a 6-foot black dude. He's strong, muscular, pushing me around. And
so he knows his strength, basically.
Right.
Yeah.
And so, very good point. I mean, because this is the thing.
I agree with
you. have someone who is strong, muscular, bigger, possibly twice your size is what you're saying, right?
Yeah.
And so that can be intimidating,
Yeah.
right? And so for that, when you come up against, and it doesn't necessarily have to be a male, because I understand that also there are females that bully just as much, right? And so the line of communication, tapping into those necessary resources are significant. We have just approximately 5 minutes left in the show, and I do want to get to this young man here, but I do want to thank you. Let's give her a round of applause for bringing that forward. Yes, sir.
My name is James Campbell, and I'm from Cheyenne High School, and I have 2 questions.
Yes, James.
My first question is, when I was in 7th grade, I was listening to music, and I'm so talented. I love music, and I love dancing, and I love how the rhythm is, and then when I was waiting for my bus, I was dancing, all that kind of stuff. People recording me, and I was so embarrassed that they put my of me, your own character, on social media, and I was telling them, hey, knock it off, and I was waiting and waiting and waiting, because I'm just a talented person who loves music, who loves singing, who loves whoever you are.
Yeah. I think we live in a day and age where people think social media is like a defense mechanism. You have a cell phone and you think you can do anything about it. And I commend you for even coming up here and talking about that, because the fact that you came up here and it was listen, I'm talented, I can dance, I can sing, that's going to take you to the moon and beyond. So I commend you on that, but everyone else, it's very easy. A lot of people don't understand when you have one camera, that's 2 million people really watching. Yeah. It takes one post, it takes one hashtag to embarrass somebody, and you don't know, that little video could have ruined his whole confidence to not follow his dreams. Yeah. So just have a little more heart and have a little more character to somebody that's not even hurting you. Just leave people alone when they're not bothering you.
So Princeton, as we wrap the show, and I know that there's still a number of questions to be had, and this conversation can be, can go on for a lot longer. Why don't you give us a 30-second wrap up in relation to your experience here today and what you would like to leave with the young people?
Man, thank you guys for having us today. I'm very excited to come here. And I mean, I was very nervous. I didn't think anybody was gonna come up and ask questions, but I'm so proud of every single one of y'all. You guys were so nice, and you guys, we are the future if you guys really think about it. So let's just be kind to one another and not be so mindless. Ha ha.
Elijah, aka EJ, 30 seconds.
Thank you guys so much, like you said, again, for coming and having your questions. I wish we could have got to more questions, but yeah, like you said, you know, one thing I always stress is just being yourself and following what you feel in your heart. You know, like you said, and one thing I want to say to you is, don't ever let other one's opinion stop you from doing what you love to do. If you love performing, or if you love, you know, if you're an artist, or if you're just whatever you're passionate about, don't let outside opinions deter you from that. You know, if they would have, I wouldn't be where I am today, nor I don't think anyone here. So yeah, just always, you know, just continue to follow and do what you love to do. I think that's something.
Those people are gonna be the same ones in front row at your concert, I guarantee you.
There you go.
Okay.
Yeah, because I love people who are so popular. I want to see their concerts, and I just want to be who they are.
And you are gonna be there.
Good
Trust
deal.
me. Just have that confidence when you're there.
And Diamond?
Everything that they said is basically what I want to say. Thank you guys for having questions and being so kind to us. Thank you guys for sharing your stories. I think it's really important that everyone, you know, gets their message across, and if you've been bullied, to make it known. But thanks so much for coming out and seeing us. And
One thing. Continue to spread your stories, because sometimes you can be a voice for someone who doesn't have the confidence to say their own story. Just definitely.
Yeah, and I think when it comes to bullying, it's important to listen to yourself, trust your instincts. Everyone's own opinion about themselves is, I think, what should shine through. Even when it comes to style, like, don't wear something for someone else. Wear something for you. If you want to change the way you look, do it for yourself. Don't do it for anyone else. And just trust you. You are the really only. It's okay to be a little selfish when it's about life. You know, it's okay to be a little selfish.
Well, on behalf of the mayor and the entire Las Vegas City Council, let's give them a round of applause. Ladies and gentlemen, we are proclaiming today here in the city of Las Vegas, Miss Diamond White Day in the city of Las Vegas. Give her a round of applause.
What?
Mr. EJ Elijah Johnson Day.
All right.
And Mr. Jacob Princeton Perez Day in the city of Las Vegas. Stand up.
Okay.
And I would like to thank you, as Las Vegas City Councilman Ricki Barlow, once again for joining us for this 14th annual Teen Town Hall right here in the city of Las Vegas. You all stay tuned as we bring the next Teen Town Hall back this fall. Thank you all so very much for watching.
Thank you guys so much.